The following is a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ AM, Intercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates. Get ready, Baltimore. It's time for some super slams and beatdowns. We've got the cheap shots and the clean finishes. Watch out for the chair. Oh, that's gotta hurt. This is Top of the Rope, your Monday night wrestling show on CBS Sports Radio 1300. Now, here's the enforcer, Baltimore's own Gil Kuda Jr.
That might be the best introduction I've ever gotten in my life. Gil Kuda Jr. here for Top Rope. Good stuff, man. This is show number one of several. I'm just pointing that out. This is the only place where a heel is not a part of a shoe and a face is not the thing on the front of your head. You will learn the terms as we go if you are unfamiliar. I'm hoping you are familiar. That's the idea. I want a place where guys can actually call in and voice their opinion. That's a good thing. Give us a shout whenever. 410-481-1300. It's me and super producer Greg the Hammer. So I asked who was running the show, and it was another guy in the building that's a fan. I was thrilled about this. So this will be good. And of course, naturally, we did not coordinate how we were dressed. It just happened. I'm wearing the Biz Cliz Worldwide, and Greg is rocking the Los. I still can't pronounce that for the life of me. What is I can't.
Just say LIJ.
Okay, the LIJ, which is sort of established itself as almost number one right now. I mean, BC is still up there, but they're rocking it for real. It's a really cool concept too. So first things first, because when we watch wrestling, we have to know where it is. Now, Monday Night Raw got a new deal to be on the USA Network that is worth 3 times what it formerly was. Now, what does that tell you? It tells me two things. One, it's a moneymaker. Do you know how many people were like, hey, man, there's no money in that? Oh, okay. It's a moneymaker. And secondly, a lot of people must watch it. USA re-signed for 3 times its original value. Now, they did not re-sign SmackDown Live, however. I thought I would come on the air and say, I don't know where it's going to be. The head contenders are Fox, Amazon, and Facebook. Do you know how thrilled I am that a TV conglomerate got this contract? I didn't want it to be online. I didn't want to have to deal with that and have to get Amazon Video Prime or whatever it is and figure that out. I didn't want to have to go on Facebook. You know, that website with all those legal problems right now that's running saving face commercials? That one. No, but it's Fox. And here's the other thing about it might be FS1, but I don't think it's going to be FS1. I think it's going to be like the network channel, Fox. You know the channels when you plug your TV into the wall and your TV isn't hooked up to anything and you still get them? That one. And apparently it's $1 billion deal. That's a lot of money. Now they're going to move to Friday nights, which is okay. SmackDown has been on Friday before. It'll be on Friday again. Here's my question. Do they go live? I don't know. The work schedule is already rough enough. I don't know. Time will tell. I think that because it's not a quick turnover, they can figure it out for it to be a live show. I think, plus because there's so much time in between, the only difference is it's going to be really rough to run certain back-to-back shows because everyone won't be in the same area at the same time anymore. That's my only thing, because you can't run it that way. You can't have a show in Chicago, for example, on Monday, and then have the next show be in Peoria, Illinois, and it's 4 days later live. I mean, granted, you can run live entertainment in between, but you can't work them to death in one town for a week. Now, some of the roster might like that. You don't have to travel. Hey, just park it in a hotel for a week. Fine. I'm okay with that. I don't know. I'm not on the road. I haven't been on the road in a wrestling capacity. I'm not sure. And of course, at 8 tonight, I will be using my multi-TV setup to be watching Monday Night Raw and simultaneously biting my fingernails to the bone, hoping that the Caps force Game 7. But that's just me. Now, as far as what might happen tonight, I'm just going to preview this because we're going to come back to it. I'm really curious how the Bobby Lashley sisters angle is going to go. I don't know how that's going to work. Sami Zayn last week said he was going to reveal the true Bobby Lashley. And he brought his sisters out, or he's going to. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure. There was a WWE exclusive thing with Bobby Lashley, and he kind of mentioned it, but not really. I'm not sure. But I'm curious about that one. I think Seth is going to do an open challenge against somebody because that's the thing now. No, okay, I said that with a voice tone like it was a bad thing. No, it's not. So you mean I get to see Seth Rollins in a title match every Monday? Yes, please. I'm totally down for that. And now there's a comment I wanted to mention. I saw it on social media. By the way, feel free to tweet me comments, complaints, concerns. You know, or if you want to send them to me, just write them on a $100 bill and send them right in. But feel free to follow me on Twitter. It's KUTA_JR. That's the new one. And hit me up if you like what we're talking about. Give us a shout, 410-481-1300. And somebody said that Jason Jordan getting hurt was the best thing that ever happened to Seth Rollins. First of all, I quote the great one, whoa, 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 whoa. The best thing that ever happened to Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins. He doesn't need one of those. He's that talented of a guy. But this does lead me to this question with guys like Seth and The Miz. You know, these guys in WWE, these guys are mid-carders to some degree. Now, Seth is a main event talent, but he's on the mid-card right now, so to speak. Is it too much? Is there too much top dollar on WWE right now? Because the mid-card is effectively main eventers. I mean, think about it. If Miz went to ROH, he would run that show. Other than maybe the Bucks, Skrull, Rhodes, of course, the guys who come over from New Japan. Other than that, he would be one of the bigger names. Those guys know how to promo on a different level. Now, it's not like, you know, back in the 2000s when guys would jump from WWE to WCW and it was just so much easier. By the way, watch one of those documentaries. There were like 18 of them. Watch one of them about the fall of WCW. Just watch one and you'll get the whole. I actually read the book about, somebody wrote a book about it. I read the book about it. That was just as interesting. So I don't buy that. No, Jason Jordan getting hurt was not a good thing for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is just that good. He's just a talented guy. Should he be in the Universal title picture right now? Yeah, I think he should. Also, quick Universal title moment. I believe it was when he faced Lesnar. One of the matches he faced Lesnar. I think it was Battleground a couple years ago when Undertaker showed up to come after Lesnar again. Nobody, I'm finally going to say this out loud. It's been on my mind for years. I have to say it. Nobody gives Seth credit for being a genius and bolting out of the building once the lights went out. It's more of a comedic thing than anything. But I'm sitting there watching and I'm going, he was a genius. He just left. Yep, I'm out. I don't need this. But no, he's the real deal. We get to see Nia Jax go face-to-face with Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Now, a lot of people have said that Rousey's underwhelming. Well, she has been. You know why? Because we haven't seen that much of her yet. She's not trained to be an every night wrestler yet. So she's going to get special, you know. Here's one thing I do wish Ronda wouldn't do. And I'm not one to, you know, judge Ronda Rousey. You know, how many ways she would break my arm is open to interpretation. But I don't like that she comes out with like a big smile and she like waves. Like I understand you're a face, but you're we used to call you, some people still do, rightfully so, the most dangerous unarmed woman on the planet. Good or bad character, don't come out smiling and don't take Tyler Bates' gimmick. Okay? And I'm a fan of his too. But I'm just, and Nia, who won the title, who stood up off the couch and applauded that? I did. That was a deserved win, in my personal opinion. I ain't going to start the chant for it because that's way overdone. But hey, I think we'll see how that goes. Because they had to put Ronda in a title match early. I don't care how new she is. Too big of a name to keep out of it. Now, here's my question. What's on tap for Roman Reigns? I mean, Samoa Joe's still chasing him around as he came back from an injury and he's not finished with him. He went all Braun Strowman. And here's the thing about Roman. I don't have a problem with Roman Reigns. I'm a fan of the guy. I have one of his t-shirts. But it's become cool to dislike Roman Reigns. And I'm not saying that's a problem, because it became cool to dislike John Cena. The thing about Cena is it's almost like we're messing with him. It's like we don't really mean it. You know what I mean? Half the guys who are singing with his song, John Cena sucks, they don't mean it. They're just because he leads it and he knows. But Roman is, oh man. Because I was at Mania in Orlando. I was at the Raw after Mania in Orlando. It was vicious. I mean, you could tell if you watched on TV. I was there in person. It was vicious. And I don't just mean wrestling crowd vicious. I mean vicious. And what did he do? He did the perfect thing. He stood there. He said, it's my yard now. Walked away. That's how you handle that. Now, do I think he is being pushed as the superhuman still? Yeah, little bit. But we'll see what's on tap for him. I don't know. But we'll see what's going on with him. Now, the women's Money in the Bank is shaping up. Both of them, actually. So let's do that. I'll jump to MITB real quick. As far as what is on tap at the moment, this card will expand. Although, I have to say, I like the idea of the 5 and 6 match cards now. And then every match gets 20 minutes. I almost like that. Better than, do you remember, what was it, in 02, 03, when there would be these 10 match cards? I mean, it's great that you got to see everybody, but somebody will get stuck with 5.5 minutes. And it just wasn't any good. And there were some matches that really surprised you. Like, here's the one I always bring up, is WrestleMania 18. The opener. It was 6 minutes and 18 seconds long. It was RVD and William Regal for the Intercontinental title. That was a very solid match where RVD won his first championship. His WrestleMania debut, as it turns out. And Regal did very well because he always does. So things like that stick out to me. Although, if anybody saw Backlash, the Rollins-Miz match was just, I'm going to get to it in about 2 minutes, but that showed what these two guys were worth to this company. Or that company. Like I work for them. That company. When it comes to MITB, here's the deal. For the women's match, it's Ember Moon. Currently, this is right now. Ember Moon, Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, and Becky Lynch, and there are still 4 spots that need to be figured out. Do I see a winner in any of those 4? Right now, no, not necessarily, but that's because I don't know who the other 4 are. I see 2 who will not win it. One is Charlotte. Because quite frankly, unless you just want to stack accolade upon accolade onto her career, she really doesn't need it right now. 2 is Alexa Bliss, because that just wouldn't make any sense. She just took a huge fall from grace, and now you're going to put her right back on top. Granted, she's popular, but I'm just saying, let Nia have a moment before Alexa gets a free shot at it. Becky would be a great decision, because she was the first women's champion on SmackDown. She was the first women's pick at the draft. I was there in Worcester, Massachusetts. She was the first one. And then there's Ember Moon. Now, that's my girl right there. Not only is she talented, she's got the look. The contacts are a great add-on. But the question is, how quickly do you want to push her to the top of the mountain in the women's division? That's my question. How quickly do you want to do that? And then for the men's Money in the Bank, Braun Strowman. Okay. There's going to be one of those special ladders, right, Greg? They got to do that. He ain't taking a regular one. That wouldn't work at all. Finn Balor, The Miz, Rusev, who, by the way, talk about capitalizing on a gimmick. Rusev Day is the coolest thing, or one of the coolest things going right now. That has replaced the last couple WWE events I've been to. That has replaced New Day Rocks as what's chanted on the way in the ticket line. It used to be New Day Rocks. Now it's Rusev Day. So that you've made it. Also, Aiden English is doing a great job of being that guy by not wrestling that often. Even though I'm a big English fan. I like him a lot. But he's done that. Then, of course, Bobby Roode, which means this match will undoubtedly be glorious. I feel like he's lost it, though. Not entirely, but a little bit's fallen off of Bobby. It's not all there like it used to be. Now it all got revved up into gear again. They did a London show, and a London crowd will make him look good. They'll sing his song the whole way down. But I'm just saying. Then Kevin Owens. Me and Greg could do 3 shows about how good Kevin Owens is. And he gets the respect. Don't get that twisted. There are a lot of fans to me who think like Kevin is kind of getting shafted to some degree. He's not. He's getting exactly the respect he deserves. He's in the mix on every big storyline. The authority is always in his ear, or he's in theirs, whoever's in charge at the moment. He's great. Greg brought up to me once the most important thing. He doesn't get hurt. Knocking on wood. That's a big one. Then one of the members of New Day, they get to pick who. Now, my first instinct is for the sake of giant spots is Kofi Kingston, because he can do big spots. It would be cool to see Xavier in there, though. That would be pretty cool. And Big E, I mean, he's not afraid to fly around. So, what does everyone think of the pancakes gimmick? I think it's okay. It's better than the unicorn horns. I mean, look, nothing will ever trump the debut of the trombone in Brooklyn. The thing is, that was trumped by a brief return by the Dudley Boys, which made me go insane when it happened. However, I don't know about the pancake gimmick anymore. Maybe we can move on to something else. Here's the other thing I want to know. Why did New Day Pops never happen? They had shirts and they never did anything with it, except the ice cream cart at Mania. That was about it. Anyway, those guys, you want to learn how to turn around on a dime and continue to be interesting and different and stay in the loop. Look at New Day. There are 2 groups that know how to do that. That's New Day and the Young Bucks. Stay current. And then there is an open slot for the Money in the Bank, for the men's Money in the Bank. As far as who gets that last open spot, I mean, there's a small part of me that would like to see Baron Corbin in there to some degree, but there's another part of me that thinks maybe it falls to, I don't know, maybe it falls to Reigns, but that would be kind of weird. I don't know. I was really surprised it wasn't Daniel Bryan. See, here's the thing. I'm not surprised Daniel Bryan lost to Rusev. I'm surprised he lost to Rusev clean. That shocked me. I mean, Rusev deserved it. Trust me, it's like he's finally getting a moment. But, clean over Daniel Bryan. Right now, Daniel's as hot as he was when he started the Yes Movement. Now that Paige is the GM, good call. Those in the writing box. Now, what else is on MITB? I want to bring you in on a second here, Greg, for this one, because I'm curious your opinion. Carmella and Asuka. Carmella just won it. I don't like that she did. Granted, she was Miss Money in the Bank, but I don't like that she did. She gets Asuka. How do you book this so Asuka doesn't lose and you might not have to take it off of Carmella? How do you book that?
Some sort of run-in or DQ or double counter or something.
Yeah, something. Because you can't. I mean, she's not going to beat her clean. That would be ridiculous. She beat Charlotte clean. That was ridiculous enough. Ugh. I don't get it. I understand she's been around, but come on. All right. Well, we do have more, but for a second, we got to step away. We'll be back.
sides of Bel Air Road are still shut down between Ebenezer Road and Chapel Road due to police activity. The inner loop backed up as a result from Paring Parkway all the way to Green Spring Avenue. Major delays on both sides of 95. That's from 32 to 100. Stop and go heading south on 295 through Jessup. Traffic is also stop and go on 50 out of D.C. from 301 over to Davidsonville Road, where all 3 traffic lanes are shut down due to a one-vehicle accident. With your traffic, I'm Nathan Scott on CBS Sports Radio 1300.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We first opened about 10 years ago. We were small, just a few of us, but it was exciting. I always dreamt of having my own business. It was kind of slow at first, but things started picking up. We had big plans, but in our wildest dreams, we never thought we'd have this much work. Yeah, with so many businesses caught off guard by the storm, Reed Waste Management has never been busier.
What will become of your business after a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jason Derulo. I love that music connects to people all over the country. But unfortunately, so does something else. Childhood hunger. 15 million kids struggle with hunger right here in America. And yet, every year, billions of pounds of surplus food in the U.S. go to waste instead of going to the children in need. Feeding America is working to change this. The Feeding America nationwide network of food banks rescues this surplus of food to help provide meals to families in virtually every community in the United States, including yours. But they just can't do this alone. Join me in the fight against hunger in America. For more information on what you can do to get involved, visit feedingamerica.org. That's feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America. A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Every Monday night from 6 to 7, it's the Top of the Rope Wrestling Show on CBS Sports Radio 1300. Now, once again, here's the enforcer, Gil Kuda Jr.
That's just... It's 1 decibel away from the Monster Jam tickets guy. And kid seats are still just $8. It's great, though. That's my best intro I've ever had. That's it. So off air, there are a couple things me and Greg were talking about. One, we both agree, Mela, it is not your time for the gold quite yet. But we understand you had to take it off Charlotte. However, you could have done better. On SmackDown, there are other women you could have given it to. There's a certain orange-haired Irish woman that comes to mind for me. That's my first pick. Because the rest of them are kind of a little bit new. I don't know about Billy or Peyton quite yet, but look, I know Natty had her run. I was thrilled she had her run. She deserved it because of how hard she works. Unfortunately, Natty, you're over like a lead balloon, man. It's not there. The other thing is, apparently, according to People.com, yes, People Magazine, John Cena and Nikki Bella have reconciled. It was not about ending the relationship, the whole thing. It was about calling off a wedding because it didn't feel right. She entered under what Greg said was false pretenses. Now, I'm quoting all of this. This is none of our words. This is from People.com. And apparently it's back on. Not the wedding, just them. The Nikki Bella and John Cena combo. So all of those Carmella rumors can be put to rest. I don't know if anyone ever read those, but I did. And I was just, I don't know. Also, completely non-wrestling related, but somewhat hilarious. In the San Antonio airport, there is a baboon that has gotten loose. Apparently, the police have cornered it in the luggage area. I don't know. You can't follow. You can't write that. You can't write that. That actually is happening right now. That'll make a news outlet somewhere. There will be video, I'm sure. I can't wait to see that at some point. Anyway, what's left on MITB's card is the Raw Women's Championship, which is Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. I don't have too much on that because we're going to see the face-off tonight. I like the idea that they started the whole thing on a red carpet. I like the idea that Charlotte was right there kind of egging it on. But we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully Ronda is a little more stern-faced. I know you like being cheered for, but please, no more smile and wave. Be dangerous. That's, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Let's do that. Then there's a WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, with a certain stipulation that Nakamura is going to pick that has not been announced yet. See, this is why I like that they went back to both brands being on every pay-per-view, and it's one pay-per-view a month. For example, we're talking about MITB. I'm going to be talking about this for weeks because the pay-per-view is on June 17th. It's May 21st. We have ways to go to see where this is going to end up. So we can always come back to this. But at the moment, that is the card as it stands. It is going to expand. Trust me. Now, jumping to another promotion, that being Ring of Honor, which, if you haven't checked it out, man, do it. As far as in-ring product, it might be the best in the biz. New Japan's pretty good. So that's an interesting line to walk. And then you find out that they work with each other and you just get really excited about that they have kind of a cross-promotion deal thing at the moment. But here's what I want to talk about, because it's not an ROH show, but it's related to ROH somehow. There's a pay-per-view coming up on September 1st called All In that is funded by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. And it's kind of like Bullet Club doing its own pay-per-view to some degree. They sold it out in 29 minutes. That's pretty impressive. Now, here's who's booked for it. Be prepared. Obviously, Rhodes and the Bucks are booked. Marty Scurll, Hangman Page, Omega, Stephen Amell. Yeah, him. The, celebrity who was at SummerSlam for like 4 minutes and had a thing with Cody Rhodes when he was Stardust. As the world's only remaining Stardust fan, I remember that. Pentagon Jr. is booked. Phoenix, Brandy Rhodes, because why not? Tessa Blanchard, who has really proven herself outside of WWE recently. Chelsea Green, son of Havoc. The NWA champ Nick Aldis. Deonna Purrazzo, Kazuchika Okada. By the way, you haven't seen a dropkick until you've seen an Okada dropkick. It's unreal. It's a beautiful thing. As full-grown men, we don't use the term beautiful too much unless you're referring to a woman or an act of sport. Trust me, this is one of those beautiful things when you see it. Britt Baker is booked. Jay Lethal is booked. Here's the one that really got me is that Bad Boy Joey Janela is booked for this show. That's pretty cool. And then Penelope Ford and Rey Mysterio. Flip Gordon, however, is not booked, but he has a chance to get booked. On an ROH show, they're going to do a match thing. And I'm looking... here's the thing. At the moment, it's not streamed. It's if you either go or you don't see it. Hopefully, they'll figure out a deal. They have time. I'm sure they will.
I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say that this ends up on Honor Club.
Yeah, probably. That would be a really smart move, too, I think, on ROH's part to throw them in there. And then, of course, they're starting their UK tour on Thursday. And then next month, at the end of the month, June 29th, is the Best in the World show, and it's in Baltimore. Guess who's booked to go? Me. Oh, and Greg. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. Well, there you go. You'll know where we're at. That's for sure. Because that's one of their better pay-per-views. I mean, I haven't seen them miss on a pay-per-view yet, but this is one of their better pay-per-views. Best in the world. Now, whenever I talk ROH, I always bring up contract things because Kenny Omega, now he's actually under contract with New Japan. He just wrestles in Ring of Honor because of the cross-promotion deal. Kenny's contract is up in February of next year. There's some speculation there. Where will he end up? Now, I know he loves it in New Japan. He's a top dog. I have the card for Dominion on June 9th in front of me that will prove how awesome this promotion can possibly be. First of all, Rey Mysterio is facing we don't know. I don't know if it's purposely being kept a mystery or they just haven't booked anybody yet. I don't know. So
I think whoever wins the Best of the Super Juniors is going to face Rey Mysterio.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good call. So but then who's your pick to win the Best Super Juniors?
Ospreay.
Okay. Yeah, I'd pay for that one. Absolutely. Ospreay, Mysterio. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's one of those guys you got to see. Like the first time I saw him, the first time I saw Ricochet. Whoa, you talk about good. And now he's in NXT. Look, I really like him. He's great. I just think deepen your voice a tad in your promos. Just a little bit. On the last airing of NXT, Velveteen Dream kind of made you look like the new guy. I'm sorry, but he kind of did. But that's just me. Or maybe I'm just too big of a Dream fan. I don't know. Because I am a huge Dream fan. Here, I'll make my prediction right now. First prediction, you heard it here first. The first African-American WWE champion in history will be the Velveteen Dream at one point. He's going to be it. I think he's number one. I think he's that good. There are a lot of guys like that I think are that good. But Velveteen Dream, he is that good. I think he's the prime choice for that. He'll win the NXT title first. But eventually, I think he'll be it. Not that there aren't other guys who could jump in there. It's just, I mean, the last one who got a legitimate shot was R-Truth at Capital Punishment after one of the worst feuds I've ever seen in my life. And it ended because a kid threw a cup of water in his face. And that distracted him so Cena could beat him. Anyway. Rey Mysterio is fighting who Greg believes will be the winner of the Super Juniors, who he believes will be Will Ospreay. So Mysterio, Ospreay, possibly, I'm down. Then the Never Openweight Championship between Hiroki Goto, Michael Elgin, and Taichi. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. I think my money's on Goto hanging on to it, but okay. Then the IWGP Tag Team Championships with Evil and Sonata versus the Young Bucks. I'm not used to them not having any gold at all. It still weirds me out when they walk out and I don't see any belts.
I think part of it is because, the whole Cody versus Kenny storyline. I think they wanted to take care of that and get that squared away.
Yeah.
Now they moved up to the heavyweight division in New Japan, so now they're focusing on that. And for the life of me, I can't see why they don't put the belts on them.
Yeah, I don't see why they don't have.
And it's nothing against Evil and Sonata either.
Oh no, because Sonata's one of those guys where I call him McMahon Specials. He's a big dude that can move, that has some pretty serious charisma about him. But yeah, I agree 100%. I don't see why they wouldn't put him back on the Bucks. And then they walk out with one belt and we're okay, good. The world is in alignment again. Then oh God, how excited is everyone for the Intercontinental title match at Dominion? Tetsuya Naito and Chris Jericho. I don't use this phrase too often, but bruh, this is unreal. I can't pick this thing. I don't know. The thing is, it's really hard for me to believe that Jericho would win this match because there's no way he's there long term. It's kind of a one-time appearance. He's going appearance by appearance right now. So I think Naito wins, but these two are going to put on a ridiculous show because Naito has moved himself almost to the number one spot without being the champ. He's become that guy in Japan, and I think this is a nice step up for him. And then, of course, there is the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. For those of you who don't know, IWGP is the International Wrestling Grand Prix Championship. Those are the Japanese titles, as they're referred to. And it is Kazuchika Okada, Rainmaker, versus Kenny Omega. Cue the Terminator music. I think this might be it. We hinted at it off air. But I think this might be it for Kenny. I think he might get it. Now, here's the thing. His contract is up in February. Let's say he gets it, right? Japan is not like WWE. They don't have 2-month championship runs. You hang on to the thing for a while, unless they do recognize talent very quickly. If you're that good, they'll have you take the belt off someone in a hurry because it would be better on you. But if Kenny wins it, then I don't see him leaving. I'm sorry. If he wins it. But the thing is, if he doesn't win it, then it's impossible to book Okada after that because he's legitimately unbeatable at that point. I don't know how you play this. It's weird. That's a tough pick. Because my honest pick would be Okada to retain, as much as I'd like to see Kenny win. So
let's just say Kenny does win it.
Okay, so Kenny wins.
And okay, his contract is up in February. Let's say he makes the decision to go to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have him lose it at Wrestle Kingdom or at New Beginning?
I mean, I think Wrestle Kingdom would be very appropriate. The thing is, you have to find the right guy for him to lose it to. Now, right now, who is that? Undoubtedly, it is Tetsuya Naito. He is the guy. So that would be pretty cool, is he wins it, he finally gets it, and then he drops it to Naito. The thing is, Kenny is, I don't think he's nearly as prideful as he makes his character made out to be. I think he's a good dude. But at the same time, when you finally get that, that's got to be tough to walk away from. Like, man, they finally put the thing on me. I finally beat the guy. But, then you get that email that says, hey man, you can make 10 times what you're making right now. So I don't know. And that's always appealing to guys from other promotions that aren't in WWE. The Bucks talked about it in an interview on a podcast about AJ Styles. He said, hey man, when AJ Styles went to WWE, he said to the Bucks, please tell me you guys don't have any contracts right now. And they said, no, we re-signed. And he just went, So apparently there was a possibility that he wanted to bring them with him. Now, I'm thrilled that they didn't, because here's my dream scenario for the Bucks is their contract ends, they sign, somehow it stays quiet. I don't know how that would be possible because of guys like me. But somehow, we as much as we love this, we are part of the problem. We really need to stop pulling the curtain back quite this much. It's too much. But anyway, let's say they keep it quiet. This is when they have, you know how they've done like the Mae Young and the Cruiserweight? They have their world tag team tournament. And you have all these teams listed and then one blank space. And that's who it is. I'm just saying, just imagine at some arena, they could do it post pay-per-view so it's a big crowd, and some team from the UK is standing in the ring waiting to fight them, and then you just hear Super Kick Party! Everybody, can you imagine? The roof would come off of the joint. And then, but here's the only thing, you have to let them wrestle the way that they like to wrestle. Look, it's a different game. It's not 15 years ago where we expect 80% of the old character. We know we might only get 50 and then you give us 25. No, you want 80%. That's the thing. We expect 100. We want 100. We'll probably get 80. Now, there are some guys who can turn it very well for themselves. Like, guess who has on NXT for me? EC3. He's just really good at everything he does. I was really hoping they wouldn't go the NX3 route, but it looks like they are. Anyway, he's good. Because NXT right now is the model. It's close to the model. There's a three-way here. Let me be honest. There's a three-way tie for the model. ROH national TV taping, IWGP regular event, and NXT. Those are the models. Raw you can't really be the model because it's such a long show, and SmackDown's a good product. And Impact sucks. Yeah, I said it. I don't have to correct myself. Impact is terrible. Here, I'll prove it. You ready for my exciting Impact headlines, Greg? Okay. Rich Swann is going to debut in Impact, and there are rumors that they might sign Enzo Amore. So listen up, those who abuse women. If you used to work for WWE and you get indicted or arrested for sexual assault or domestic violence, Impact will take you. What? Come on, man. I mean, Enzo I understand his pull, right? Great talker. Reasonable enough wrestler. Great talker. And Rich Swann, I got mad when the whole thing happened with Rich Swann, not because I thought he was a future or anything, because he was a Baltimore guy. There was actually a Baltimore guy. Now, I do consider Velveteen Dream Baltimore guy by default. I know he's listed as from Capitol Hill, but I consider him a Baltimore guy by default. Also, he did a joke about Baltimore when I went to the NXT show in Bel Air. And he said, I would say the Velveteen Dream has come home, but ever since you burned down that CVS, I just can't forgive you. That's what he said. That's Dream's words, not mine. That's what he said. Okay. We got to step away one more time, but when we come back, we get to talk about who's overrated and who's underrated. Stick around.
PNC recognizes high school lacrosse players for leadership and performance on the field, classroom, and community. Log on to PNCAchieversBaltimore.com for this week's PNC Achiever Player Profile, sponsored by PNC Bank.
Hi, I'm Kelly Clarkson, and I've toured the country dozens of times, and there's one thing every state has in common: childhood hunger. The sad truth is that 17 million kids don't know where their next meal is coming from, or if it's even coming at all. Yet there are billions of pounds of surplus food around the country at farms and warehouses that could help end this injustice. But all that food is useless if it doesn't get where it needs to go. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids before it goes to waste. But they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank. Find out how at feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're Feeding America.
To help solve hunger in your community and to find your local food bank, visit feedingamerica.org. That's feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Last night we put on an epic light show.
Yeah, we did.
The crowd loved us. We love the crowd.
Wait, but there were only 4 people out there.
Yeah, but did you see their 4 faces? All 8 of their eyes lit up brighter than ours. And we're fireflies.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, that one girl, she looked like she'd never seen glow-in-the-dark like this before, and we invented glow-in-the-dark.
Yeah, we invented it.
And we're gonna be out here every night, rocking out our light show at a forest near you.
Woohoo!
So come check us out.
Check us out.
And bring your kid, all ages show. Oh, but don't bring any of those glass jars, because they make us kind of nervous.
Yeah, and I'm super claustrophobic.
Whether you're rocking their world or they're rocking yours, some memories never fade. Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you and discover other cool things to do when you go, like fishing, biking, or even camping. Visit discovertheforest.org.
See you later!
Yeah, see you soon.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is Top of the Room. Every Monday night from 6 to 7 on CBS Sports Radio 1300. Now, give it up for the enforcer, Gil Kuda Jr.
That's just phenomenal work right there. That's what that is. So I am what Bully Ray formerly was for Ring of Honor as of about last week, until, you are done. And now Bully Ray is unretired. So I'm thrilled about that. I love how these guys can just never stay away. He retired and he was like, it's just been so great. I'm so glad. All right, I'm done with it. 2 months later. You know what? Let me back in there. I'll make this happen. So because one of the biggest conversations in wrestling overall is who is the future? Who's overrated? Who's underrated? Who's next? Right? Well, I have my threes. My list's 03. Here's who I believe are some of the next biggest stars in the world as far as who is up and coming, and some of them may surprise you. There's only 3 of them, but one or two of them may surprise you. First of all, I couldn't begin to describe how high on Pete Dunne I am. This guy, he's a UK champion. WWE officially filed a trademark for the name Pete Dunne recently, so that's a good sign for him. But here's my thing. You could put the Universal title on this guy, and I think he could handle it. Right now, I don't think he needs a growth period. He doesn't need to become the talent they want him to be. He's there, and he's 23 years old. He's got a unique look. He's a great heel. Here's how me and Greg would phrase this. He's such a great heel, he naturally became a face. Do you know how hard that is to do? You know who did that? Austin did that. If you think in any way, shape, or form Stone Cold Steve Austin's character was ever a face, you're lying to yourself. He was a heel. We just liked him. Ric Flair was a heel. We just liked him. New Day were heels. We just turned it and we liked them because they knew what they were doing. This kid knows what he's doing. The bruiserweight, he doesn't say much. He's got the Birmingham accent, which is so perfect for his character. I'll crush people's dreams. That's what I do. And then he walks away. Thanks, Pete. See you on Saturday. Here's next, another Brit. I honestly think Tyler Bate could be that big. Now, he's not like Pete because he does have a growth period. But that's because he's 20. He's a young guy. First UK champion ever. Won the first ever UK tournament, which was awesome. And there's another one coming, and I can't wait for the next one. Has anyone seen Dave Mastiff, who's going to be in it? That horse. That dude's going to be exciting to watch. But it's going to be fun. I just think, here's the thing about Tyler Bate. He took advantage of something when the tournament was going on. Remember, he came out and he just did a little wave, and everyone did it with him. By the end of the tournament, everybody wanted him to win the whole thing. That's pretty cool. And he still has that effect to some degree. He just doesn't get that many opportunities. However, you have to remember the UK division guys are still under contract with Progress in most cases. But I think that's because WWE is trying to figure out what to do with them. Guess what? The opportunities will rise soon. You know why? Because they just cut new deals for $1 billion a piece for their new television contracts. So be ready for bigger and better things. Like perhaps the return of pyrotechnics. Vince is like, I can get pyro again. Yes. Maybe I'll reinstate a certain little club of mine. Yeah. No, we don't need that. No. When Vince was like 50 something, yeah, but not now. So. And then here's my next big star. And he proved it to me at an NXT TakeOver event. That is Andrade Cien Almas. He is unreal in the ring. So, he's good. He's very good. The thing is, I like how he promos because he does the half Spanish, half English deal, and I think that takes a little bit extra to figure that out. Like when he won the title out of nowhere from Drew McIntyre, who, by the way, Drew McIntyre, there should be a manual on Drew McIntyre's stint in NXT. You know what the manual should be titled? How Not to Book a Superstar in NXT. I don't think he was booked right at all. And then the thing he did where he would like get on the turnbuckle and he would go like, none of it fits him. Also, why did you not bring back the Broken Dreams entrance music? Come on. That was step one. We hear that, we're on board. And now he's with Ziggler, which is cool, I guess. But we'll see where that goes. We'll see tomorrow if that leads to anything at all. Now, here's my most overrated. Prepare your angry tweets for the overrated. Number 1, Brock Lesnar. Overrated. Now, I realize I'm probably preaching to the choir on everyone who is a wrestling fan. I know he's got a special contract. I think it might say in his contract, if I'm employed by you, I have to be the champion. I don't know. But it's just not. He doesn't do it for me anymore. He's physically impressive. Here, I used to love to see Brock because I would see Brock. I would hear a Heyman promo. Brock would do his thing. It would be big, physical, impressive. Now, guess what I'm happy about when I hear Brock's music? I get to hear a Heyman promo. That's about it. Ever since that match with Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania 32, where he just didn't do anything in it, it's gone downhill. Next most overrated, this will get me in trouble. Finn Balor. Overrated. Dude, break out the paint, man. You've become an Irish guy in a leather jacket. Okay? That's what you are right now. I don't want him to fail. Now, here's the thing. Should he be in the Universal title picture right now? No. No, it's not because of his lack of talent. Here's why. Finn weighs 190 pounds. How could you book that against Lesnar and make it look somewhat even? You can't. Why do you think he got Reigns 4 times in a row? Because Roman looks like he could handle himself. Samoa Joe, who's mad he got hurt when he did? Oh, I wanted to see that keep going. It was a shame. He was right in the thick of it with Lesnar. It looked good, and then he got hurt. Now, who's the other most overrated? The Boss, Sasha Banks. Overrated. The first of all, the pop is dead. When her music hit, it used to be a pop every time. It's not anymore. Secondly, she really doesn't have that much. She doesn't have that much going for her anymore. It's just her and Bayley. Are they friends? Are they not? We're not sure. We're setting up the big match at some point in history, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. But I think she's a little overrated at the moment. I know she hasn't been the champion in a while, but that is not the only way you can judge these things. Okay? Okay. Now, who is the most underrated? Now, remember, I said next big star is different than most underrated. Guess who's number 1 most underrated? Becky Lynch. Because she is. Deserves better. Here's another one. So, here's another one. Elias. I'm getting the shirt. Walk with Elias. And 3, I don't care how big of a push he's gotten, Velveteen Dream is underrated. Last, who's the current MVP of pro wrestling right now? Cody Rhodes, in my opinion. And who is the current LVP? Sorry, girl, but it is Natalya. Figure something out. I know, you can't control all of it, but figure something out. All right. Well, everybody enjoy Raw. That's in about an hour. I can't wait to see Bobby Lashley's sisters and what they do with that and who might make the Money in the Bank ladder match. That is it for me here on Top of the Rope. I'm going to go home and watch wrestling and hope that my hockey team still has a reason to play on Wednesday. Greg, thanks for driving the boat. We're out of here. That's it for me. I'll see you next week. Please keep wrestling. It's been too sweet. I'm out of here.
We first opened about 10 years ago. We were small, just a few of us, but it was exciting. I always dreamt of having my own business. It was kind of slow at first, but things started picking up. We had big plans. But in our wildest dreams, we never thought we'd have this much work. Yeah, with so many businesses caught off guard by the storm, Reed Waste Management has never been busier.
What will become of your business after a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Time starts now. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat? Where can you find the answers to these questions?
Car crashes are one of the leading killers of U.S. children. Many of those deaths could be prevented by making sure that kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Josh Groban. After so many years on the stage, one of my favorite things about music is its ability to inspire and nourish the soul. That's why I'm proud to work with Feeding America, an organization that inspires hope for families in need and helps nourish the 16 million kids in this country struggling with hunger. Every year, billions of pounds of excess food go to waste, while 1 in 5 children may be left not knowing where their next meal is coming from, or if it's even coming at all. Thankfully, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks collects surplus food and helps deliver it to kids in need across the country. But they can't do it alone. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Juice, Mom! Juice, juice, juice!
Mommy, why are we going to the store?
Mom, I want juice!
Mom!
Juice, juice, juice!
Mommy!
Juice, juice,
Mom!
Juice, juice.
Your child will have different needs at different stages of life, and that includes the car seat. That's right, the car seat. A car seat isn't one size fits all. You have to have the right seat based on your child's age, weight, and height. See, car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. But there's a website that gives you all the information you need. safercar.gov/the-right-seat. You'll find out about types of seats, when to have a seat rear-facing, when to switch it to forward-facing, when it's time for a booster seat, and when it's time for your child to ride in the back seat with a seatbelt. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The preceding was a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ AM, Intercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
CBS Sports Radio 1300 is WJZ AM Baltimore, WJZ FM HD3 Cajunsville, Baltimore. Your home for Maryland, Terrapin sports, and live sports talk around the clock.